Okay, if you just logged in, if you just clicked onto our site, hi everyone, it's Jungle Jim Jerome and the one and only Kevin Martin coming at you for our games update, which we've been doing now for, I think, is 13 days in a row. So if you look at Kevin, it's a little foggy there, okay, because there's just fumes coming out of his head, okay? He's operating. He's operated a day. You probably don't even know what day it is, Kev. Got to be. Yeah, it's 2 weeks for you for sure now because you started with the mixed doubles. And how are you? How are you doing?
I think I arrived here in New York and then drove out to Connecticut. So I think 16 days ago now, I believe. That is true.
Go.
Yep.
There you go, pal. Okay, so you're over 2 weeks. And how's it going? Have you ever? I'll tell you what. I used to go on fumes too, Kev. Okay, for I used to operate on fumes. I'll have to find
different type of fumes, different
type of fumes, man. Yeah, and I could go for days. And I used to be so tired sometimes doing the radio show. I did a morning show in Ottawa for years there on TSN, and they actually have tape. I'll have to find it and send it to you of me falling asleep on air while I was talking.
That's pretty. That's impressive. That's hard to do.
But the regroup was even more impressive. It sounds like I'm talking. It sounds like this. Anyway. Oh, welcome back, Jim. Yeah, it was like this. But you've never fallen asleep. No, that would.
No, we have not. No,
not yet. It's called our update show, and so we jump on here for 15 or 20 minutes to give you everything happening in curling at the games. It is starting to suss itself out. Mm-hmm. It looks like about 7, maybe a couple of games left. I don't know if other teams have 3, but certainly a lot of them are at 7 games, which means there's only 2 games left in the round robin, and we're going to find out from Kevin if we know definitively that some teams are in and some teams are out. Kev, let's start with the women, where Rachel Holman, of course, started 1-3 her first 4 games.
Right.
And okay. I said, well, she's in trouble. And you said, not yet, Jimmy. Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet. You're talking about the number 1 team in the world. There's no need to fret yet.
Okay, don't fret. And,
don't fret.
You were 100% correct. I'm not fretting anymore.
So far. It's not. Yeah. It's not. Still not there. So let's start with Sweden. So okay. Sweden's at 6-1. They're in.
Yeah.
They're good to go.
They're a lock. Okay.
They're a lock. Okay. You've got at 5-2 both Switzerland and the USA. Switzerland plays Denmark, U.S.
Yep.
And U.S. obviously plays Great Britain and Swiss. So they play each other. So one has to win, one has to lose. But I kind of think Swiss can handle Denmark. And U.S. should handle Great Britain. So I kind of think they'll both be at around 6-3-ish. They're probably both looking good. Canada is at 4-3, along with South Korea. This is where it gets interesting. Canada plays Italy first. Now, Italy is struggling, so I kind of think Canada should win that one.
Mm-hmm.
South Korea plays Sweden. Not easy.
Nope.
They're playing great. So that's trouble for South Korea. Then they play each other. South Korea plays Canada. Last game. So that probably has playoff implications. So that could be, and they're two teams that had aspirations and favorites of being on the podium, but they're going to play each other. So that's the big one that I'm going to watch. Now, also, Denmark's not out of it. They're 3-4, but they have to play Canada. So that's, I'm sorry, they play Switzerland. And a loss to the Swiss would be the end of it for Denmark. Anybody with 5 losses in the women's is gone.
They're out. Okay.
Yeah, because Canada plays South Korea, somebody has to win.
Okay.
So that, and U.S. and Swiss can't do worse than 5-4, and Swiss are already in. So that's your 4. We don't know who the 4 are, but you can't do worse than that.
But they're knocking on the door. We know who the other.
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if Canada and South Korea both lost their first games, Canada losing to Italy and South Korea losing to Sweden to both go to 4 losses, then they play each other, Jim.
Oh,
so one
what
has
a game.
To win.
What a game.
But one has to win. So there you go. Denmark's not out of it, though, at 3-4. China at 2-4. Great Britain at 2-4. But, of course, would have to win out. So I kind of think it's going to come down to that Canada-South Korea, that last game, winners in.
Wow.
Exciting.
Beautiful.
Now, I could be wrong. There could be some games that we don't expect who to beat whom. But where it stands right now, that's what I think is going to happen. It's really exciting on the women's side. There are still, as we sit here right now, though, 8 teams still in it.
Out of 10.
Out of 10. As we sit here right now.
With only a couple of games left.
Yep. It's amazing. It's just crazy. So, anyway, that's on the women's side.
What a battle. Yeah.
You know
what? A battle.
And we were talking the other day about both Ogden and Vancouver about having a house nearby.
Yes.
And I thought of a story. I thought of a situation. It was really kind of funny. So Bill Both was our driver in Salt Lake City.
Yep.
And the curling was in Ogden. And so we wanted to get a house kind of nearby, and it was difficult to get homes. It's always difficult around the Olympics because it's so busy, right?
Sure.
People are renting stuff. And anyway, we had a house in Willerton, and that's not very many miles from Ogden, which is where the curling took place, and that's where the world men's is going to happen this year. Same place in Ogden. Anyway, so we're driving from Salt Lake City through Ogden to Willerton to see this house that we're going to rent while we're playing. So we get out of Ogden just a couple of miles, and unbeknownst to us, I guess how it works at Olympics is kind of a security grid where everything is really watched for security around to a certain distance.
God, who would have thought? Yeah.
Oh, who knew? Anyway, Bill Both did not, our driver, and we did not. Anyway, I guess all the vehicles that drive the players around stuff have kind of a electronic system that
GPS or something.
GPS. It goes too far away. All of a sudden, red alert. A team is too far away from, gets off the grid. Why are you off the grid? You're not allowed off the grid. You got to get back. Anyway, we're driving out to Willerton, and all of a sudden, Bill Both gets a phone call, and it's some government agency, some police type agency.
The FBI.
Sir. Yeah, I'm not sure who it was. I don't know who. Somebody like that, though. Sir, pull over your vehicle. And he goes, well no, I'm fine. I've got the Canadian curling team with me. There's no problem. Sir, pull your vehicle over. We'll have somebody there in a minute to check your vehicle. Do not get out of the vehicle. Because I don't know if there's helicopters above us or whatever. So we're all sitting in the vehicle within a short period of time. Bill, I don't know if Bill listens to this podcast. I sure hope. If you do, send out a DM. Let us know. It's or send out a message, Bill, and about this because it was really funny. And so we pull over.
Bill.
And sure, our driver, Bill Both. Yeah. Anyway, so they come and check the vehicle, and everything's good. Of course, we're not it's all true.
Who comes and checks the vehicle? Who does?
Police of some kind. They're checking.
Make sure. Yeah.
Well, just to make sure that they weren't kidnapping a team or whatever, or something not right. Anyway, so they check it out. It's all good except Willerton's outside the grid.
Oh,
so I forgot all about this. It's so many years ago. So anyway, so that's why you asked. Remember, you asked why we had a house in Ogden and stuff, and that's what happened. We ended up not staying in Willerton, and then we ended up getting a small house in Ogden, not far from the curling facility.
Oh, so they wouldn't even allow it then?
Well, no, it's outside the grid. Absolutely. And that was 2002. Okay. That was just after September, obviously September 11th. So
sure.
The things were pretty
tight.
The security was real tight at that time. So anyway, that I just thought I'd tell you that because you brought that story up the other day, and then I didn't tell the whole story. And Bill Both is probably at home watching this and going, "Jesus, Kevin, you're not telling the whole story." So anyway, that's the story. And we ended up having the house in Ogden while we played, and then we stayed at the Village in Salt Lake City when we weren't playing. But anyway, funny story.
It's no wonder.
Sir, please pull over your vehicle.
Pull over? What the heck?
Immediately pull over.
You were probably saying, guys, this is unreal. It's like $1,000 a day to rent a house, and I found this one in Wellington for like $50 a day. This will be fantastic. You know,
What a bargain.
What a bargain. Yeah, what a bargain. No problem. Prepaid up front. So you lost a couple of grand. I'm imagining, Kev, it's like one of those golf carts where they have them now where it shuts down if you drive too close to the green. You know those electric carts? Like if you go within a border.
And then you have to back up. They have to back up slow to get you out of there.
If it will, sometimes you need the 3 other guys in your group to come and push you back out of it. So, anyway, great story. That's great memory, man. That's funny. Poor Bill.
Oh, so funny. And I told the story wrong the other day. I felt bad, so I thought I'd better clear this up. Okay.
The men.
Let's carry on. Let's carry on to the men.
I'm only imagining the guy drives you to the fence and it stops. He goes, you gotta walk from here. Okay.
It's only 6 more miles.
Yeah, it's only 6. You'll be fine. Yeah, step on it. Yeah, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you some games, and you tell me who you think should win, okay?
Okay, I purposely didn't look because you told me you were going to do this.
Yeah, but right. Well, I just want your honest opinion.
Okay.
So, Norway, Switzerland.
Switzerland.
I agree. Norway, Canada.
Well, I'll go with Canada because she hasn't lost in about a week.
No, this is the guys.
Oh, the guys. Okay.
Well, it's still same deal.
Still the guys, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Norway. I'll go Canada.
Yeah. So that puts Norway at 4-5. Okay, keep that in your head, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. U.S. Great Britain. So U.S. against Mowat.
Well, I'll tell you what, because U.S. is kind of playing better than people thought. They knew Mowat, of course, is. This game's already been played. Is that what you're telling me?
None of these games have been played.
There's always upsets. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna take U.S. the underdog.
Okay. If that's true, then the U.S. ends up at 5-4. Great Britain goes to 4-5. Okay.
Mowat. Well, okay.
Well, or one way or the other.
Yeah, that's my long shot. That's my upset of the.
Right now they're both 4-4. So one has to win, one has to
lose. Big game.
Big game. I've got the Great Britain winning. I think Mowat will beat the U.S., but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Italy playing Canada. Italy playing Switzerland.
Ooh.
Switzerland's undefeated. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Switzerland.
I've got that as well. That would put Italy to 4-5. Are you catching my drift here?
I am, yes.
So you've got Switzerland at 7-0, they're in. Canada at 6-1, they are in. So 2 teams are in the playoffs. Now you've got the winner of Great Britain or US would end up at 5-4. But the loser is 4-5. Norway 4-5. Italy 4-5. Okay, let's go down to Germany, who's 3-5. They play China.
3-5. They got 1 game left only.
Yep.
Okay.
Playing China only.
Okay.
China's at 2-5. Who wins between Germany and China?
China's at 2-5. They could possibly go to 4-2 and
so
5.
China plays the Czechs first.
They can only go to 4-5 then. China.
Who wins China against the Czechs?
China.
Okay. So now China's at 3-5. Germany's at 3-5. They play each other. China plays Germany. Who wins?
I'm going to go with you liking the Germans.
I have Germany. So if this all comes true, there are a 7-0 team are in, 6-1 is in,
Canada.
A 5-4 is in, be it Great Britain or the U.S.
Okay.
And then there are 4 teams tied at 4-5 for the 4th place.
Is that 8 teams again out of 10?
7 out of 10, because China and Germany play each other. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose.
7 out of 10, and with again only 10 teams.
Yep. But
and only a couple games
4
left.
and 5, and they all beat each other. So if China were to beat Germany and Great Britain beat the U.S., which I think could happen, then Norway gets in. If Germany beats China, Great Britain beats the U.S., U.S. gets in.
So
if all the 4 and 5s, I'm saying there's going to be a 7-0 Switzerland. Well, they're already in. Whatever they end up being, they are. They're already in.
Okay.
Canada's already in, so it's insignificant. They're in the semis. The winner of the Great Britain-U.S. game, if all the other things that you say are going to happen come true, which I agree with, are in. And there's going to be 4 teams tied at 4 and 5. Isn't that wild? But there's no tiebreakers. So it goes head-to-head first, and then it goes to draw shot challenge.
Oh, they do the head-to-head. Okay, so head-to-head
with four
first.
teams tied, everybody beat everybody, so it could go to draw shot challenge. I just want to let everybody know that the men's is super exciting going down the stretch because, Norway could beat Swiss or Canada, but I wouldn't bet it.
Yeah, I agree.
Italy could beat Canada or Swiss, but I wouldn't bet it.
Yeah,
China could beat Germany, but I would bet Germany.
And Canada, Canada on both on the women's side for sure, right? Was beatable. On the men's side,
they're now.
Yeah, they're playing great now, and on the men's side, this is great. This is the next two games of curling.
I just wanted to bring that up to everybody. Like, you're looking through all these scenarios, and I was doing it this afternoon in the booth. I'm going, guys, like if somebody could beat, you know what I mean? I'm just saying the odds are that this should happen. Sure, but it's a sport, and all of a sudden, somebody wins that you don't expect, and my whole theory, gets. But it looks to me like there could easily be 4 and 5 getting in under 500 for the week, getting into a mess.
In all the years of being around the Brier and the Scotties, it's always on the Thursday, the last game, or the Wednesday, Thursday, the playoffs start on Friday, and always it'll be this log jam at the end of the week, and everyone will be going, oh my God, here's the possibilities. You probably just talked about, Kevin, if there was a math wizard, maybe it's Mason. It probably wouldn't be a stretch to say there's 25 different scenarios that can happen here. Who wins, who doesn't, who ties, who doesn't, right? There's like many, many.
Well, there's some things, Jim, that are real easy. Norway beats Swiss and Canada. Italy wins. They're both at 6 and 3. There's no tie breaks. There's no nothing. It's just clean.
Right. Okay. So that's the case here, right? So, however,
but I don't believe it for a second. But
right.
But it could happen.
Right. Can happen. However, as of today, there's all those different scenarios. So, but sometimes it just happens. They go, you know what? There was a zillion different angles and scenarios on who could have got through, who didn't. But more often than not, it ends up. I think more often than not, it ends up with the 4 teams getting through. But certainly no one's betting on that right now.
This is why I'm saying that about Canada and Switzerland. So, 4th rock throwers. So you got Benoit, Schwartz, Van Berkel, Switzerland, curling at 90.3%. 90%.
How's it
Number
going?
1 skip. Guess who the second skip is? Brad Jacobs 88%.
Yeah.
Those guys are cruising along. And
Yeah.
the reason I say that Great Britain will win, Bruce Mowatt's in 3rd spot now because he's been curling so good lately at 87%. So that's why I think
Off
that
the
Great
charts.
Britain will beat USA is because they're coming on at the end.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that. When you're talking about thirds, so we just said that Switzerland, Canada, and Great Britain have the top skips in percentage. Remember we got done talking about percentages, how important there are.
Yeah.
All right. Switzerland, top 3rd at 89%. Grant Hardy, Great Britain, 2nd at 89%. Just 0.2 difference.
Sure.
Mark Kennedy, 3rd.
Yeah, with a little more with a little more heat on his shoulders.
Well, yeah, but they're not showing the heat. And so anyway, that was my point. Percentages are they are what they are, and that's kind of why I'm leaning the way I am. Because if Great Britain were to win that game over U.S. and then all the other stuff we said came true, those would be your top 3 teams.
Yeah,
and this Canada and Maui.
Yeah, curling ain't baseball where they got a zillion different stats that you're going. This means nothing. Obviously, if you looked at it or I asked it, okay, what are the team percentages? I know the answer. They're the top 4 or 5 are going to be the top 4 or 5. So it's a very telling stat, right? That percentage. How do they, Kevin? How do they decide on what shot is 100% and what shot is 80% or what shot is?
You're right. I'm glad you're breaking this up. That is a bit subjective. Obviously, on a open hit, if you hit and stay, if you hit and roll out, you know what I mean. But you're playing a tap to the back button, and instead it taps to the back 8. Is that a perfect shot, or is that a 75% shot? Or,
Right.
So there's lots of studying that's done. There's a lot of training that goes into for these statisticians. So they take their job very seriously. So it's pretty good, especially over this many games.
Right.
It becomes pretty close. But you're right. At one shot, give or take, could it be a little bit off? Sure. But overall, I think it tells a very close story to who's shooting best or not.
So if it's a hit and stick and you do it, you're going to get 100%.
And if you hit and roll out, but it's not
zero.
How important is it? Well, how important was it, right? So there are all kinds of scenarios.
Or what if you flash a rock? What if you flash one?
Yeah,
right.
well, it's a goose egg, but
it's a goose egg. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
there's no charity
tough.
here.
So when you see skips throwing 90%, though, think about this. So there's 2 rocks on the button, and the skip has to throw the rock to the side of the pin. Makes it, it's perfect. So 100% shot. Misses it by a half an inch, 0.
Yeah.
Whereas a lead, if they're throwing to the top 4 and it ends top 8, 100%. If it goes top 4, 100%. Top button, 100%. You know what I mean? There's more room for error. So that's why the leads generally have the highest percentage. Seconds have the next highest, third the next highest, and skips usually the lowest. But in the case of Bruce Mowat, Benoit, and Brad, they're 89, 90%. I got so many pages here, Jimmy.
I know you do.
I got paper everywhere. Just
yeah.
Just hang on.
Yeah, I thought you were. I see all that. I said, maybe Kevin's gone into origami. Look at all the paper there he's got.
There's so much stuff kicking around.
He's an origami guy.
Well, you can imagine, like I'm a kid in the candy store, right? When we got all these potentials of 4 and 5s, and I'm doing all the math, and geez, I enjoy that stuff. Okay. But leads, so your top 3 leads are all at 92 or 93%. So they are 3% higher than your top skips.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense, right? Because
it does make sense.
Shots are easier, but your degree of difficulty is less.
Yeah, here's what I don't like, Kevin, unless they do adjust for it. So you've got last rock, there's two on the button, counting, and you gotta throw one big draw. You gotta throw one into the crotch of these two, these 2 rocks. Degree of difficulty is the toughest. Okay, whatever the highest degree of difficulty is in a shot, and you pull it off, so you get 100%. What I don't like is an open hit.
It's also 100%.
Is also or appeal. Appeal to blank the end. It's like, well,
people have been talking about this for years, and I agree 1,000% with you. It's not done that way at this time.
Yeah, where they do it is in diving, right? In the Summer Olympics, in diving, that someone does a triple with a double twist, compared to your
belly
swan
flop.
Dive.
Yeah, like I would do.
Yeah. And I do that poorly.
Oh,
anyway,
man, those guys are impressive. Yeah.
Interesting, Kev. We didn't say it at the top of the show, but we will. We're not afraid of it. There's been some everywhere from sort of funny takes online about the Kennedy and Rachel Homan, and predictably it's gone way overboard on some of the people's takes about it. They've been called cheaters, and someone, other people going, whoa, wait a minute here. Right? Well, relax. Cheating is, moving your golf ball hoping no one saw you. That's cheating. The better take, I think, is what they call an infraction. Okay, what there is infraction, not cheating. Tons of stuff is written online. So I was going through it today, Kevin, and you and I both know our friend Jackie Ray Greening, who is
JR. So
JR.
She wrote something.
She did write something.
So
I know her from
just so everybody knows. So we're talking to people from all around the world. So JR Greening, Jackie Ray, a dear friend of I guess both of mine for sure, and a really good curler.
I've known her for years.
She's won a lot of stuff in curling. Great curler. Mentored her curling game under the late, great Hex Gervais.
Oh, did she?
Years ago, yeah, when she was a junior, and has been in the media business forever. A great MC. You would have heard her MC events and so on. So that's who we're talking about here. So great. What did JR have to say?
Yeah, highly knowledgeable, and I think she just retired and had a fantastic radio career, and so I knew her from my radio. Still know her. Yeah, in fact, we exchanged a text the other day. So I think she's put it what I think is one of the best ways. So allow me to read it. She says, quote, "I usually keep it light here, but when a friend is being attacked, I feel I have to say something. I've known Mark Kennedy for over 30 years. He is kind, considerate, and as honest as they come. Is what he did an infraction? Yes. Many curlers have done it. Do I wish his words weren't so colorful? Yes. Many curlers have done it. My disappointment is in Team Sweden as this move was obviously planned. Why do I think that? As you look at their record, maybe they should have focused on their game instead. How this incident is going to change the spirit of the game concerns me. As we know, many curlers at the club level go over the hog line. Is this going to lead to arguments? Are we going to have officials back at the hog line for future events? Or are we going to go back to the way it was? I honestly don't know, she says. She finishes off by saying, I do know that, Mark, your home club is behind you, and we wish you the best of luck on your quest for gold. And to everyone, please be kind. This world is tough enough as it is. So the guts of that, of course, are infraction over cheating, right? And those are kind of harsh words. What this is, I don't. In my mind, I don't know if anything has changed for me over the last couple of days. How about you, Kev? Any?
Well, no, not really. You know, I'm like somebody like me. I'm in a tough spot with Mark because he's a real good friend of mine, and we played together for many, many years.
Great friend of the shows, too.
Yeah, you know, tough spot for myself personally to be in because, you know, such good friends and friends with Nicodine and Oscar Erickson, for goodness sake. So, you know, it was an unfortunate situation. But you're right. Cheating is just not accurate. Infraction, certainly. But they're starting to deal with it. I think World Curling did a great job and bring in the umpires. They settled it down. They pulled 2 rocks, one from Team Canada Women and one from Great Britain Men. Mm-hmm. At least. Now, I don't know of any others. If there were any more, I apologize. I didn't know. But there were some, which is good. And settled it out. And now get back to curling at the Winter Games and see who gets the gold and the silver and the bronze, because that's what all these athletes are trying to accomplish.
Totally, and so there's a couple of things. Some of those posts that I've read where the people are screaming bloody cheating. I said, look at this. This isn't Lance Armstrong here, okay? Who blatantly cheated. With steroid use and all that stuff. It was, it's an honest infraction if it is, and so be it. Does it change the fact that Canada would have destroyed their, if he was called on it and they pulled the rock, their ability to win a gold medal? Nah, I don't think so.
When this all blows over, though, you've got to admit that some of these memes that are coming out are funny.
Yeah, they are.
Like, some of this stuff is,
did you see?
All joking aside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, my goodness. Like, Mark Kennedy, I know him as well as anybody knows him.
Yeah.
And, yes, he's got to feel bad about all this mess, but he's curling really good. But even he's got to be looking at some of these memes and, like, oh, boy,
I know.
There's a lot of thought goes into some of these.
I'll tell you what, you're probably thinking of the same one I am. So there's an AI of Mark Kennedy lying on his stomach, okay, in front of a goaltender in a hockey game with a big scrum in front of the. I don't know if you saw it.
I did.
And he's got his hand on the puck, and they show it shoving it over the line with his hands.
With his finger.
Yeah, with his finger. I know. Poor Kennedy, man. But of all guys.
Yeah. I can't. When this is all blowing over, and they're curling great, so they know if they can get on that podium and win a medal, fantastic. But boy, I can't wait to
People
sit
are
down,
funny, man.
in a couple of weeks and have a coffee with Mark about this whole thing.
Yeah. What? Anyway, there's the great recap. The great Jackie Ray Greening. Go read her stuff on Facebook. She's a fanatic curling fan and a huge supporter of the game.
A really good curler in her day. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like her and Deb Santos back in the day. That's a long time ago.
Yep.
They're a strong women's team. Like really good.
You're gonna conjure up a bunch of memories for all our Edmontonians. Like
absolutely.
And she's gonna be pissed that you aged her, Kevin, by saying, she learned from Heck Gervais. She's going to go, oh, man.
Well, no, she won't be mad about that. She's very proud about that. Yeah, no. But if I aged her because of anything else, she might, she'll just phone me and give me hell.
Yeah, she'll give you shit. This is only, when we record this, it's only Tuesday evening. And the finals are Sunday, and all sorts of stuff's got to happen between the last 2 games.
We've got some major updates. Like today was an exciting update because we could have a four-way tie for fourth, and we could. Nothing's guaranteed, but it's a wild time, Jim. I can't wait till tomorrow. We'll do this again tomorrow night, and we'll get everybody updated with exactly what the possibilities are. And exciting.
Kev, when does the round robin end? I'm guessing Thursday in Italy. And then probably do they do the two semis on Friday, or do they one semi on Friday, or both semis Saturday? And by the way, if you weren't sure, they suss out through this round robin somehow. They get 4 teams to go through, 2 semifinal games, and the winners of that play for the gold and silver, and the losers play for the bronze.
Yeah, the semis actually for men are Thursday night local in Italy, so Thursday afternoon here.
Yes.
And then the bronze for men is Friday, and Saturday the gold. Women's gold is Sunday. So the women's semis will be on the Friday.
They're 6 hours ahead
of Eastern time, yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. If it's an evening game, it's going to be 6 hours less.
6, 8, 9, depending if
Eastern.
you're in Vancouver, Edmonton, or Toronto, or where you're at.
Yeah.
In this world.
I'm going to miss when we don't get to do this every night, Kev.
Yeah.
We might have to just jump on for the rest of our lives and do an update. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it. We got tons and tons of action. Good luck to Canada, of course. They're my choices. I hope everyone else is who lives in Canada. And we'll be back tomorrow, Kev, with another update. You've been listening to the biggest podcast in the world in curling. Oh, now don't freak out and send me an email and say I'm bragging or everything. Go to the World Curling website. Check it out. Don't give me a shill thing now that I'm doing. And thank you, Gold Line. There you go. We only did it once, okay? So just relax. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
See you, Kev.
Have a good night. We'll
Cheers, man. Go
talk to you
Canada.
tomorrow.